You are William Bradley Saray.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Mrs. Saray, you're charged with assault, bodily injury. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On October 25th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a disturbance at a residence in Harris County, Texas. The officer made contact with the complainant, who stated he observed the defendant come into the location appearing intoxicated. The complainant stated he and the defendant got into an argument because the defendant did not like that the complainant had more employees working in the kitchen than the defendant wanted. The complainant stated he went back to work, was turning his back towards the defendant, and the defendant struck him on the right side of his head on the ear with a closed fist, causing pain. The complainant stated the defendant grabbed him around his shoulders and again struck the complainant with a closed fist on the right side of the head and neck, causing pain. Officer made contact with the defendant. The defendant stated he and the complainant got into an argument. The complainant stuck his finger in the defendant's face, contacting the defendant's nose, and the defendant struck the complainant with a closed fist. The officer observed red bruising on the complainant's neck and right ear. HFD observed raised contusion on the back of the complainant's head.
You said alcohol was a factor in this, right? He was drunk or the other?
The defendant appeared intoxicated.
He went to an actual restaurant? Is that what he did?
They work at the same restaurant, Your Honor. Or worked at the same
Okay,
restaurant.
What kind of work do you do at the restaurant?
Restaurant, sir. Director of Operations.
Okay, are you still employed there?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, well, because what I was going to do, one of the conditions that I was going to do was no contact and no going back, because I just don't want you guys to run into each other. I don't want more bad blood. You know, you got out of jail. We gave you a PR bond. You're not going to get another one. My only concern is public safety, and I'm going to do everything to protect every single person. You know, the conditions that I'm going to place on you now, I don't want you consuming alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, I'm going to put you in jail. No more PR bonds, no more contact with this person, and no more weapons. As long as you can abide by these conditions, you and I will be fine. Otherwise, there's only one place to put you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
All we want you to do is a little self-control. Everyone you see back there now is because they have no self-control. Do you understand? All right. Now you've got a lawyer. I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with him and he'll tell you when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you, likewise, we'll issue a warrant for your arrest. Anything you guys like to add?
We spoke to the complaining witness yesterday, Judge. He was taken to the hospital. He stayed there he was at Memorial Hermann. He had very severe injuries. He sustained a concussion as far as I know. I've requested the medical records. He has sent photos and he sent me the surveillance footage already. So I witnessed it on video, the act happening. Just wanted you to be aware.
Just, you know, we want to make sure that nothing further happens. You know, we have a myriad of other things, ankle monitors that I don't want to do that at this point. I trust that there won't be any more issues. Just above all else, no alcohol, no dope. That's all we're asking. Okay. Okay. We'll have you meet with Victoria to sign a reset. After that, you'll meet with Fleischer to get your pretrial bond conditions. And after that, you guys will be free to go. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor.
Please. I'm right. Thanks. Good morning, Mr. McGaskey. So you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. Mireles picked up a new case.
Yeah, and he came in, checked in, and left saying he had other places to go.
What?
Yep. I warned him that if he left, that more than likely a warrant will be issued for his arrest.
Next time.
I can't because I'm on my technical. That's part of the problem.
All right.
But I agree.
Mr. McGaskey, we're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. Just please don't say it.
Okay. October 26th, officer was dispatched to a major crash in Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, the officer observed the defendant sitting in the driver's seat of his motor vehicle with his keys in his lap and with an odor of an alcoholic beverage. The defendant stated he drank prior to driving. Standard field sobriety tests were performed. HGN 4 out of 6, walk and turn 4 out of 8, one leg stand 3 out of 4. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath, but the defendant was unable to do the test. A blood warrant was then signed and executed.
It was really quick. So where was he?
So it was a major crash in Harris County, Texas, specifically on 2201 Southwest Freeway.
Okay, and then what?
The officer arrived and he was in his driver's seat, and the officer observed his keys in his lap, and then he observed an odor of alcoholic beverage.
Just an odor. Anything
odor.
else?
And then the defendant made a statement that he drank prior to driving.
It
And that's it.
leads you to believe that he's drunk. We have an accident, I get it, but there's just an odor of alcohol. There's nothing, no slurred speech, no bloodshot eyes, just an odor.
Yes, sir. All that was written was the odor was observed, and then the statement made about him drinking.
Gatsky. I have an accident. All I have is an odor of alcohol. What can you, other than the accident, what can you lead me to believe that he's drunk or intoxicated?
The defendant stated he drank prior to driving.
We don't know how many, we don't know how much, we don't know when it was happened.
Well, Judge, I don't think that's necessary to provide probable cause for the case. He's admitting to drinking, he's got odor of alcohol in the breath, and the accident itself is evidence of intoxication, Judge. All of that, in our opinion, is enough for probable cause.
I don't think so. I mean, usually there's a lot more than just that. An odor, we don't have anything else. I don't know when, I don't know how many, I don't know how strong it is, just an odor.
Not every case has extrapolation or admissions of how many, Judge.
I understand
It's
it.
just
I understand, Michael, but I need just a little bit more than just an odor and an accident.
And admissions of drinking, Judge?
Okay, we don't know when. The officer can't do any more questions than that. Okay, when did you do it? How many did you have? Did you have anything to eat?
Understood.
Yeah, all right, no, I'm gonna find no probable cause, Mr. McGaskey. It's very possible that they take it to a grand jury and indict it, but so I would be on the lookout, number one. Number two, you know how many accidents and death we have every day due to alcohol and getting into a car? I'm gonna find no probable cause. Just take a seat.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Jeff.
Good morning, Judge.
Morning. Roberto, thanks for coming. Are you Jose De Leon?
Yes, sir. Jose De Leon.
Mr. De Leon, you're charged with two cases. You're charged with assault of a family member. You were also charged with interference with the emergency request for assistance. On both of those cases, you were facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. The complainant and the defendant are married. On October 27th, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a disturbance in Harris County, Texas. The complainant and the defendant were driving home from McDonald's and were in a verbal argument. The complainant stated she told the defendant that she was leaving. So the defendant then grabbed their daughter, and the defendant approached the driver's side of the truck and opened the door. The defendant then grabbed the complainant's left arm and hit her twice on the arm with an open hand, causing pain. The complainant stated that she told the defendant she was calling 911. The defendant then grabbed her phone, threw it on the ground, breaking her phone.
Did you say the hit on the arm hurt?
Yes, Your Honor, caused pain.
Okay. Mr. De Leon, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to uphold your case. Morgan, have you had any contact with the CW in this case? Do you know whether she wants to have contact with him or not?
So, Judge, this is a debate because I don't believe that a RIF has been conducted. It looks like a protective order interviews.
Was or wasn't?
It was.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
I believe she does want contact.
Well,
I want to know, until I know with certainty, I'm going to order no contact, If you guys are able to do it, great. So De Leon, tell me, are you a United States citizen?
Ciudadano americano. President.
I don't know if you
Or not? And quite frankly, it doesn't matter to me, but you need to understand that if you're not in this country with permission and you go to jail, you will be stuck in custody and then shipped off to immigration. I'm putting bond conditions on you now. If you violate these conditions, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. A protective order has been issued in this case. I would suggest that you get to know it, because if you violate the protective order, the state can and will file additional cases against you. And then things will really go sideways. I'm ordering you not to have contact with the complaining witness in this case and not to be in possession of any weapons. Do you understand?
¿Entiendes? ¿Sí o no? Yes.
Any alcohol, Alex?
I don't see the allegation.
No? Okay. We are going to reset your case to give you time to hire lawyers. So I'm going to first have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, we will have you take a seat in the jury box. We will have you sign the bond conditions. And after that, we will get you out of here. When you come back, please have a lawyer. That way, sign a reset and then to the jury. Speak English.
Español.
I'll give you the case number when we're done with the.
Okay. Yo te voy a decir todo, ¿ok?
Sí, señor.
En español te voy a decir todo.
Ramon Jesus Delgados Caceres.
Señor.
Cáceres, yes, sir.
You are charged with discharging a firearm in the metropolitan area. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you.
Yes, Judge. On October 25th, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a discharge of a firearm in Harris County, Texas. The officer made contact with the first witness by a phone, who stated the defendant was in front of the officer's patrol vehicle by a gray car and provided a description of the defendant. The officer observed the defendant who matched the description, and the defendant was detained, and the officer conducted a search. The officer found no weapons, and the defendant gave verbal permission to search the motor vehicle, where the officer also found no weapons. The officer checked the apartment parking lot around the defendant's vehicle and found 8 .40 caliber fire cartridges and 9 9mm fire cartridges. The first witness stated the defendant was the shooter, and that she was walking towards the dumpster when she observed the defendant standing next to the trunk of his motor vehicle and shoot the gun in the air. The first witness stated she heard approximately 5 shots, and it appeared to be a small handgun. The witness stated on her way home, she heard approximately 5 more shots, and the second witness observed the defendant arguing with other parties, expose the firearm, and shoot 5 to 7 times. The second witness confronted the defendant and observed the defendant grab a black box where he placed the firearm and hid it inside his apartment.
Mr. Delgado Caceres, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Can you run an NCIC search on this gentleman,
Yes, sir.
see if he has any prior criminal history? And Michael, we used to have an order circulating where we could have them relinquish the guns and take them from, have you seen that? It's been a while. But yeah, we could have them turn them in or have them take it into like a sheriff. There's something that we can do. I'd like to look into that. So, this kind of scares me. He's got 2 different guns. He's firing on different occasions. People see it.
You should, I'll take a look.
Mr. Delgado, tell me, what is your immigration status? Are you in this country with or without permission?
Estoy en proceso de trámite.
The process of being a resident.
Estoy en trámite del permiso. En trámite del permiso.
Ya ¿estás con permiso aquí?
Sí.
I am with the permit over here. I am with the permit.
No se venció.
¿No se venció?
Yo estoy en proceso de trámite de los permisos.
I am in the process of.
You need to understand, if there's any problem with your paperwork and you go to jail and immigration finds you, they're going to put a detainer on you and you will be stuck like Chuck in custody until these cases are over with and then shipped off to immigration. Do you understand?
Tienes que entender eso.
No, yo estoy legal con migración.
I want you to understand that it doesn't matter to me. In immigration, if you don't have every single I dotted, every single T crossed, they're going to put a detainer on you. And I'm going to tell you now, if I find that you're a danger to my public, I'm going to make your bond extremely high. Do you understand? When you shoot a gun, what goes up must come down. And when you shoot it down, it may ricochet. And if it hits someone and it kills them, who gets charged with murder?
Okay.
I'm ordering you not to be in possession of any weapons, and I'm going to test you for drugs and alcohol as well. I'm ordering you not to consume any alcohol, any alcohol, any illegal drugs at all. If I find that you're using, if I find that you're in possession of a weapon, I will put you in jail. As it stands now, I'm going to see about having you relinquish those guns to a sheriff's office. Do you understand?
Hay que entregarle estas armas a la oficina del sheriff.
No, no problem.
¿Entiendes? No, I don't have no weapons.
For now, I'm gonna have you sign a reset with Victoria, and then I'm gonna have you take a seat in the jury box while we figure out how to do
Cargo los
this.
documentos acá y de que te
Do not leave, otherwise I will issue a warrant for your arrest.
vayas, que te vas, te vamos a capturar.
No, no, no.
¿Ok? Vete para acá.
Good morning, Mr. Villalobos.
Ya vieron
Mr. Villalobos, you're charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense.
cada
You
segunda
are
vez.
facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine.
$4,000 de multa pueden darte.
We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge. On October 25th, 2024, the officer conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's motor vehicle. After observing it travel at a high rate of speed, 71 miles per hour in a 35-mile-per-hour zone, while driving northbound on Hillcroft Avenue. Upon contact with the defendant, who was the sole occupant and driver of the motor vehicle, the officer observed him to have glossy eyes, slurred speech, and poor balance. The defendant admitted to drinking prior to operating the motor vehicle. Standard field sobriety tests were administered. HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 5 out of 8, one leg stand 2 out of 4. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.152 and 0.158.
Mr. Villalobos, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. Are you a United States citizen?
Ciudadano americano? No.
Are you in this country with or without permission?
En este país con permiso, sin permiso.
Sin permiso.
Without.
What happens if you go to jail?
Eso si te vas a la cárcel.
No sé, me puede dar migración.
I don't know. Immigration can come.
Ah, that's what I'm trying to impart to you. If you go to jail and immigration finds you, you will spend a considerable amount of time in there waiting first to finish this case and then get shipped off to immigration where you will sit for another 6 to 9 months waiting for them to do whatever they're going to do. If you do not want that to happen, follow the bond conditions I put on you now. Because if you violate it and you become a danger to my public, I'm only going to put you in one place. You do not have a Texas driver license, do you?
No, he does not know.
You're not allowed to drive. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. You cannot justify getting in a car for any reason whatsoever. Because it's a second offense, I'm ordering you to obtain a handheld portable interlock device that you're going to take with you to prove to me that you're not consuming alcohol. If you consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or if you drive, you will go to jail. No more PR bonds for you. Do you understand?
¿Eres todo lo que te dije? ¿Sí o no?
Yes.
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 This is the only warning that you will get from me, so I hope that you heed it. Because if not, there's only one place.
Si no lo cumple, pues ya se van a hacer.
Your Honor, would there be any consideration in waiving the portable device fees?
Absolutely.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
To me, money doesn't matter. What matters is how you act. To me, money doesn't matter. My only consideration is how you act when you're out there in the free world. If you act like a fool, then we'll take the free world away from you. You act like a child, I'll put you over my knee and I'll spank you like a little child, but I'll do it with a bunch of jail time. A week. Okay, so Mr. Villalobos, I will waive your appearance so you don't have to waste your time coming to court. But you must stay in touch with counsel. They will tell you when you have to come back to court. If they tell me that they can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm not asking much from you. Just don't drive, don't use, and stay in contact, and don't pick up any new cases. I'm gonna have you swear to us here that you're not gonna drive. I'll get you to Victoria Center reset. You'll get with Fleischer for your bond conditions, and after that, you're free to go. Okay, thanks, guys.
Page 7.
It's really great to see you.
Great to see you too. I'm good. How are you, Judge? I know. How are you doing?
Wonderful.
Good.
Who do we have here?
Mr. Figueroa, Javier Figueroa. It's a first DWI, first offense of any kind.
Morning, Mr. Figueroa.
Good morning, sir.
Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present if you cannot afford one. One will be appointed to you, sir.
On October 24th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a major crash in the 14300 block of White Heather Drive, where the defendant was involved in a single car accident. The officer observed the defendant in the front driver's seat of the motor vehicle when they arrived on scene to provide assistance. Upon contact with the defendant, the officer detected an odor of an alcoholic beverage, and the defendant admitted to drinking 7 12-ounce cans of Modelo. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 4 out of 8, one leg stand 2 out of 4. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.10 and 0.09.
What did you say the stop was for? I zoned out.
It was a
Single
one
vehicle crash.
single car accident.
All right, Mr. Figueroa, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a valid Texas driver license?
It's right now, it's expired, but I'm working on it. I got an appointment next Friday.
You don't have a license,
It's expired. It was expired.
then I'm ordering you not to drive. You're not allowed to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care if there's a burning building and you have to save 50 kittens. If you don't have a license and liability insurance, do not drive. There's no quicker way to get to jail than to drive in violation of this. Do you understand? I'm telling you now, nothing chaps my boca more than when you drive without a license and insurance. Don't do it. I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using alcohol or drugs, likewise, I'm going to put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. I absolutely love her to death, but I don't care however much I love her. You start acting a fool, I'm gonna put you in jail in a heartbeat, in a moment's notice. Do you understand? If you are somehow able to get your license, come back to me, show me that you have your license, show me that you have insurance, and we will take this off. But until that point, do not drive. You understand? I will have you sign this affidavit promising us you're not going to drive. I'll get you to Victoria to sign a reset. I'll get you to Fleischer to sign bond conditions. Then you guys are out of here. I will waive your appearance. You don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with Ms. Strauss, and she will tell you when you have to come back to court. She tells me that she can't get a hold of you. Only one thing's going to happen. Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, guys. Thanks. That way.
See you.
You too.
All right, Judge.